So I want to talk about the importance of forced appreciation. And what is forced appreciation? But first, I want to explain natural appreciation. So natural appreciation is the normal circumstances of the economy inflating over time, and goods and services are appreciating over time. Things are getting more expensive as the natural human revelation of the economy and inflation happens. So you purchase something, for example, you purchase a property and 10 years later, the property is worth X amount because of natural appreciation. If you look at McDonald's, a McDonald's meal, a Big Mac back in 2010, Big Mac meal was $5 a meal. Now it's nearly $11 or $12 a meal. So why is that? Because of inflation. Now, as a property investor, you want to use forced appreciation as your secret weapon. It's something that it will speed up your process 10 times faster than waiting for natural appreciation. So what I mean by this is we use two things. And the very first one we use is purchasing under market value. Now, why we do this is because it's going to quickly increase our chances of building equity much faster and quicker. So when we go out there for my clients, we try to purchase everything under market value. And we do that 9 times out of 10. We purchase property that are $10,000 or $50,000 under market value. We have to do this every single time, and that's one of my goals, because if we can do this, it's going to help speed up our clients' property portfolio 10 times faster. Now, I can't give you guarantees I'm going to purchase everything at $50,000 under market value, which I've done for clients. But I can't promise you that every single time, because it all comes down to a time and place and where you are at the market. And those deals happen because of term, because of situations. For example, we purchased something $50,000 under market value for a client because we're in a market heavily looking for an investment property. Now, I had a good relationship with a real estate agent that came to me and said, "Frank, I need an investor client to purchase this home." Now, at the time, there was a lot of homeowners dominating the market. There wasn't many people investing in this market. So we came in there and we had to look at this property. We done due diligence. We wanted to see if it actually fits our client's brief. Is it in a good location? Is it in a good suburb, good street? Is there a lot of homeowners in that street, etc. So after I've done my research, this property needed to be sold to an investor because the owner of the house was building a new house, and the house was going to take up to 1 to 2 years. Now they need to live in this house, and at the time there was a vacancy rate of 0.2%. There was peanuts of investment properties on the market for rent, so they didn't want to get evicted, and then they're going to be stuck without a place to live. So we came in there, and this property was off market for so long that they couldn't sell it, or they couldn't find an investor client. So we came in there and we negotiated very hard. We seen those properties getting sold in that street for $330,000 or more. Now we purchased this property at $275,000. We negotiated hard. They needed the deal done straight away. They didn't want to keep waiting because of uncertainty. They needed money for the development, or for the new home that they were getting built in the year to come. So we went in there and we negotiated. We got this deal for a bargain for our client, $50,000 under market value. Now, after 6 months, we can revalue that property because you have to wait for the contract price to finish. So when you purchase an investment property, a little quick info, that contract price, when you purchase it after settlement, you have to wait to get that property revalued after 6 months. So after 6 months, we're going to reevaluate our client's property, extract the equity, and use it to go purchase more property. So this is a great way of force appreciation. I'm purchasing everything under market value. That's our goal, to purchase it under market value, because we're purchasing under market value. We can use that equity to go out there and use it to our advantage. Now, the next thing we're doing is renovations. Adding renos. And what I mean, we don't have to do this for every single property, depending on the selling situation, but we use this as, it's an insurance. I use it as force appreciating as well. And so you don't have to use all your savings all the time to put down as a deposit. Now, if we purchase something like the ugly duckling syndrome in the street, now it's not the nicest house in the street, but you've got potential to add value to this property to make sure that you can bring your property value up the same level of the other properties in that street of the same value. And so if we can factor in and say, okay, we're purchasing this property, but we can add a renovation by $10,000 or $20,000, that's increased the value of the property by $50,000 or more, then after 6 months, we can release that equity, that $50,000, and we can use it to go purchase more property. It's a great way of force appreciating. Instead of having to wait for the economy to appreciate, you're force appreciating it straight away off the bat. Now, let's just say you've done the right due diligence. Where we're purchasing in markets where their properties are growing 20% or more a year. Now, if you purchase something under market value and need a little slight renovation, and you're in a high growth location, and you've done a renovation, and after 6 months, you've 10x'd your property because you purchased it under market value. You need a slight renovation. You've added value to it as well. You've gone a little bit over the top. You've done your due diligence. You've got a valuer. You've got a property manager to see, okay, what can I do to increase the value so I can use that to go out there and purchase more property. And then you're force appreciated, you extracted it, and you use it to go purchase another property with that equity. You don't want to be using your savings every single time to put down as a deposit. And the way to get around things like this as well is tax advantages is when you do release equity. And let's just say you bought a house and you released equity of say $50,000 and you've used it to go purchase another house. I'll draw my little diagrams. It's shocking, don't judge me. But you've gone out there and you've purchased another house with that $50,000 of equity which you've released from this house. That $50,000 is tax deductible. And when you put it as a deposit, it's tax deductible. Now, this is general advice. I shouldn't be talking about taxes, but I'm just, educating my clients. Now, when you that's tax deductible. If you put your own $50,000 of your personal saving as a deposit, that's not tax deductible. So once you start getting this domino effect, you can lower your tax. You can save up your buffer of your personal savings much faster instead of having to use it as a deposit, and you're force appreciating, you're leveraging. It's a great way to get ahead faster and quicker. So hopefully you got something from this. This is something that we swear by. This is what we use, force appreciation, adding value to our properties. So it helps our clients speed up the process much faster and quicker.